Yo, Still Mills, what's the deal, man? I'm here to go pick up my daughter from school and get back to the casa, man. But Peep Game, I want to talk about something, man. And that is, man, we got to talk about this nigga Vergil Ortiz, dog. Listen, I'm trying my best to be a fan of you, Brody. I'm trying my best to be a fan of you. But this shit is just unexplainable, man. I don't get how you can just, blatantly do, act the way that you're acting. I don't see how you're not shamed by that. I don't see how you don't think this is, shame. There's no shame in what it is that you're doing. And bro, come on now, what you allowing your team to do? I don't get it. It's bothering me. It's frustrating me, man. Cause this is game, man. You allowing them to play games, man. At the end of the day, Oscar De La Hoya's legacy is already, etched in stone. We know what great that he is, but y'all have to eventually take the reins for yourself and learn to just move on your own and operate as your own entity. Say, all right, cool, I will accept your advice as, a fellow Chicano, and keep the shit pushing. But this is what I want to do for my career. Why? Because you the one who's gonna have to wear that shit. You're gonna have to get your dad, your manager, your promoter, all them motherfuckers in check, because they got you out here looking a plumb fool. A plumb fool. There's no way in hell you think you're deserving of a 60-40 split between you and Boots. You have I'm on record saying this. It's clear as day who has the better resume between the two of you. I don't think Boots' resume compares to yours in the slightest, dog. It doesn't. That's just being real, man. But how dare you say you deserve the bigger half of the bigger portion of the pot because you've been in with the better opposition when he's the more decorated fighter, he's the more accomplished fighter, and he packs the house way better than you. He sold out. He sold out in Philly. It was a dead zone in there, in Texas when you fought Lubin just last month or the month before. No, last month. It was a dead zone. It was dead waiting there. It was nobody in the arena. It was no buzz behind it, no nothing. It's so much more that goes into being the A side in these negotiations. And man, I'm not business savvy. I stay out of that shit because I don't see none of that shit. You dig? Unless I know I have surface level knowledge on, negotiations and shit like that. When it gets to a certain point, like just everything that goes on, but the politics in boxing, once it gets past surface level, I get irritated with it. I can't. You won the argument, dog. I can't do it. You won. You're better than me at that, because that's just not where my interest and my focus is at. So for you to go and allow Oscar and your team to, talk this $10 million bullshit when you was getting that bag because Turkey was the one putting up the show to give it to y'all. Neither one of y'all $10 million fighters. I know that for a fact. If you were a $10 million fighter, you could have at least sold out Texas. And you don't deserve the majority of the share. Why? Because you have not done shit, bro. If the only way you could even command this, this split that y'all are trying to, impose on Boots is if you at least have fought Sebastian Fundora and took his belt from him. But you've yet to do that. You're reluctant to fight the dude. You're reluctant to fighting. And you think that, just because you fought Cavalier-Vasquez, knocked him out, you beat Madrimov, you beat Boachuk, you beat Lubin, you beat some top contenders at 154 pounds, but bruh, what do you have to show for it outside of a fucking interim? Nothing. Not a fucking thing. I'm a fan of yours, bro. I really am. I like you more than I fuck with Boots, and I think Boots is nice. I just think, I get aggravated when people get put on certain levels that they've yet to be, proven that they're deserving of, man. As far as clout and rep, a skill set, and who's the better between the two of them, and blase. Like, prove it. You are far more proven than Boots is because of the caliber of opponents you've been in there with. But don't get it fucked up. Boots has a champion under his belt. You have a former champion under your belt, but not no sitting world champions. That dude is lineal. Former unified champion of the welterweight division. While you doing what exactly? trying to get a fight with Keith Thurman. You still talking about a dream fight with you and Earl Spence. What, like, it's just shameless shit like this. It's shameless shit like this, and this is pro Oscar, man. This is just the dumb shit, the game that he just allows y'all to run on motherfuckers to where y'all can, damn, what is dark skin right here? Damn, okay. Y'all, y'all allow this nigga to chip at the heel pretty much, you know what I'm saying? So they'll get you in there with a fighter who you'll have some sort of advantage over, whether it's a size advantage or a youth advantage. You dig? Whether it's Jaime Munguia versus Beefy Smith, or we'll say Zepeda versus Farmer, Floyd Schofield versus Farmer. Who else we got? Vergil Ortiz versus, oh man, who was Thomas Delorme? Just some goofy shit like that. Like, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? This shit don't make no goddamn sense. Put it like this: Zerto as a cruiserweight is doing more at cruiserweight than he did at 168 pounds and 175 pounds. Y'all are letting this dude run amok with y'all career, and his legacy is already etched in stone. Y'all are still trying to create your own lane, bro. At this rate, you was not like you will be a forgotten about fighter. You will be a forgotten about fighter, man. You are acting real weird when it comes to Boots, and it looks like you didn't want, like you wanted when you called him out, you had the advantage of him of being comfortable in that division. And you said, all right, yeah, come up here now. You know what I'm saying? Let's fight right now. And now you was real giddy to fight him, and now that he has a fight in the division, you kind of look a little antsy. And your team, man, you just, I don't know what makes y'all think someone like a Keith Thurman is far more. Keith Thurman at his apex was never a bigger name than Boots is right now. And why is that? Because Boots is immediately attached to Bud Crawford. I think that's my biggest issue with Boots. Everybody swore that he could beat Bud. He's the Bud. He's the anti-Bud. He's this and that and the third. He's just this unfuckwittable fighter. He can switch it. He's all right, cool. Yeah, all that shit is fine and dandy or whatever. Just he's yet to prove it. But he's proven more as far as accolades are concerned than Vergil Ortiz. Anybody who isn't privy with the sport of boxing, they don't know who Boachuk is, they don't know who Madrimov is, they don't know who Kavaliaskis is, they don't know who Erickson Lubin is. They gonna sit there, they're gonna be like, yeah, man. They're not gonna know who those dudes are. They're not gonna know who those dudes are, but they'll see Boots being a two-belt unified world champion, former millennial. All that shit that's what's gonna tell the story right there. So if y'all was both to retire, the next generation and the generation after that and the generation after that and the generation after that is gonna go right to that man's accolades, and he's gonna have an argument, well, who's the better between the two of you? And it's why does Boots need to go and see Vergil? How come Vergil don't need to go see Boots? Boots is the more accomplished. I just figured, that's just not how you want your legacy to end, man. So, it's sickening to sit here and watch all this shit go down. It's sickening for you to allow Oscar De La Hoya to puppeteer you and your career, just run Jedi mind tricks. This is your career at the end of the day, man, and he's using you as a pawn or whatever to get to Eddie, because him and Eddie don't necessarily get along. This is not his legacy. This is yours. Oscar is already a 6th division world champion, bro. There's nothing else he needs to prove. His legacy is stamped. He's in the Hall of Fame. You're not. Y'all. Shit is sickening, man. You just refused to, activate your mandatory to go and fight Fundora. And I think that's what y'all are aiming to do, but y'all just, on one way, it's marketing. It's smart to sit there and have your name attached to another fighter and continue to dangle this carrot in the faces of the people, so that, that attracts a lot of attention or whatever. But it also, it purges a lot of aggression, out of, aggravation out of an individual as well, because it's like you playing games, man. Just stop duping the public. If this fight is everything that y'all swear that it is, then y'all wouldn't need all these media tactics to try to promote it. It would just sell itself. It would sell itself. We didn't need all the media tactics with Floyd and Manny because the fight sold itself. We didn't need all that with Bud and Canelo. The fight sold itself. We didn't need all that with Golovkin and Canelo. The fight sold itself. Not Golovkin, but Canelo and Cotto. You just go down the line, the fight sells himself, and y'all are convinced that this is the biggest fight in the sport of boxing, which it really isn't. This fight isn't bigger than fucking Nakatani and Inoue. This fight isn't bigger than Tank versus a Devin Haney or a Shakur Stevenson or a Teofimo Lopez. It's not bigger than Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson. If we being real, it's not bigger than Benavidez and Bivol or Beterbiev. It's not. It damn sure ain't bigger than Fury and Joshua. Let's stop playing games here, man. You know, it's a dope fight, and it's a fight that everybody is clamoring to see. We want to see this fight because y'all have been contemporaries since, welterweight. And now we in a position where we can finally get this fight over the line, and y'all bullshitting in the manner that not y'all. Your team is bullshitting. Boots is adamant. Boots and Eddie don't do this goofy shit, man. That's what's so dope about Eddie. Let's get this shit done, man, because it's enough for the dog and pony show, like my man Ring IQ said. It's enough for the fucking, this love and hip-hop bullshit. It's corny. Let's just get in there and brawl out. We ain't here for that. That's why everybody is lapping us as far as this market is concerned, man, because motherfuckers is fighting the domestic level talent as they are ascending to the top. Y'all are not doing that because y'all want to milk the shit and marinate the shit to the point where the milk goes rotten. There's chunks in that shit. That little hole at the back of the milk carton is busted and blown out because it's rotted to the core. Nobody wants to see it after a while. Everybody gets irritated and aggravated. You know what? I'm good, man. I'm cool. So you are allowing this dude to dictate your career, and you're losing a lot of favor with the fans because of this shit. It's a lot of people who are like, man, Vergil on some bullshit right now. Me being one of them. You on some bullshit right now, gang. I'm tired of it, man. Get your ass in the ring. Or just simply say, we are going to fight Fundora. We are going to fight Fundora. You got 40. If I don't hear from you by the end of the day, we just going to move on. That's that Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua shit, man. Why are we doing this? It's game, man. Stop playing games. Just simply say, we're looking to fight Fundora. We'll double the block back. We'll double back on you. We'll spin the block. Just say that. Just say that. Just say that. I think it would be dope if y'all went and y'all got in the ring for in a unification match. I think that would be real dope. But shit, man, like, can we even? Is that even your goal right now? I don't know. I don't know what the fuck you think you doing. I don't know. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. It's corny, man. Just go fight Fundora. Debo his belt off of him. And let's move on. And let's try to make this shit happen. Because this it's exhausting listening to this shit. It's exhausting. These clapback thrower Tuesdays or whatever, man. And just whatever you be doing, just clapback Tuesday, and just this is game, man. This ain't how negotiations work. I know that for a fact. This is bad faith. Y'all are doing this shit in bad faith. Y'all doing this shit back because you at least have an argument to say, well, we came to the negotiation table, but this is our price right here, and blah, 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 blah. And you'll be able to dupe somebody who's as easily duped as a lot of the Vergil Ortiz fans. I'm a fan of Vergil Ortiz, but I know for a fact, my nigga, you playing games. Any like-minded and rational-minded individual would say, why the fuck do you think you are deserving of 60% of the pot when you've done absolutely nothing? But you beat some notable names, but you have no real estate in the division. No real estate. You didn't have no real estate as a welterweight. You have no real estate as a junior middleweight, and you've been up there damn near 2 years by now. You've been up there damn near 2 years. And your resume as a junior middleweight is better than it was as a welterweight. With Bohachuk, Lubin, and Madrimov. But you ain't got no real estate. And people will kill to be in the position that you are in with holding an interim strap. All you got to do is activate the mandatory, and you just refuse to do that. And what you activating that mandatory with Sebastian Fundora and beating him, now you have grounds to say, yeah, I'm entitled to 60% of the pot because of the real estate that you hold on top of the resume that you already compiled. I don't see how y'all don't notice this shit, man. I don't get it. Or maybe you do notice it, and y'all are just using Boots and Eddie Hearn and Matchroom as a means to continue to add the profile and prestige to the fight. It's not gonna work, man. It's not gonna work unless you go and you fight Fundora. If you talk about a dream fight with Spence, if you go in there and you fight Spence, that's probably gonna tarnish your career. That's probably gonna tarnish your career. Nobody will look at you the same if you go and you fight Earl Spence Jr. That's not a money fight like you think. And why would you want to fight Earl Spence Jr.? This is his 3rd year out of the ring. Come July, it'll be his 3rd year out of the ring, man. He's in shape, but he ain't looking like he's trying to come back. We ain't heard of no coach that he got or nothing like that. The dude is enjoying life. He's staying in shape. I just think, a lot of people are, just because they ain't fighting, that doesn't mean that they want to be, they want to be healthy. Health is wealth. Health is wealth. Everybody ain't trying to do the Hassim, Nasir Hassim shit. The Prince Nassim shit. And everybody ain't trying to just beat, because that dude is unrecognizable. So motherfuckers is trying to stay slim as they possibly can. Naturally, weight it's going to be harder for you to shake weight as you get older. So, you stay in the gym, you stay healthy. You've already in the habit of, of shaking that weight up off you. Let me stay in this habit. So when my age catches up to me, naturally, I have habits. You dig? I can get it up off of me. But the point is, he isn't in fight shape. How do I know he's not in fight shape? Who's training him? What game plan is he devising to fuck around and beat you? Nobody knows. No coach, no cornerman, no nothing. And you still talking about a dream fight with this dude. Y'all was talking about a fight with Keith Thurman. Just dumb shit, man. Stop letting these dudes dictate how your career is going to go, because you are the one that has to wear that. When your team says some stupid shit, we not looking to your team. We gonna look at your team and say, yo, man, y'all niggas is dumb as fuck. But we also gonna look at you like, why are you allowing them to say this shit? Because that's how I'm looking at you. Why are you allowing them to say this shit? But how much is it? You can't fault them for saying the shit, because you going along with the get along. You like, all right, cool. It just is what it is, man. Listen, dog. Just say you gonna go fight Fundora. Go fight Fundora. Take his belt from him. Just say that. Just say that. We can do without the semantics. Just say that. We're going to fight Fundora, and we'll come back after this fight is over. This will make for a really dope dust up for the summertime. You come to the table with a belt, and you fight Boots in the summertime. Yeah, now we cooking with oil. You dig? We cooking with oil. But just stop playing in our face. Just stop playing in our face. You can't dupe no motherfucker with critical thinking skills. You can't do that. You don't deserve 60% of the pot over no damn Boots. Get your shit together. Go beat up on Fundora. Activate that Mando. Go crash that nigga. Come back to the negotiating table, and let's really get this fight over the line with Boots. Deuces.